Welcome back to the channel, Frostgrave night. We got Thaw the Lich Lord kicking off tonight. We got our two war bands, our Sigilist over there, and our Summoner over there. Tonight's episode or scenario is going to be the Eclipse, the first one in the book. Basically, in the first round, it's only 16 inches line of sight max. That will decrease by 1 inch each round. When it gets down to 12 inches in round 5, it's total darkness. The good news, though, is if you're on the board, your wizard, in round 5, it's +6 to all your casting rolls, which is kind of cool. And then after that, in round 6, it starts to get back up to its line of sight again. You add an inch each time. So that's kind of cool. Warbands are over here. As you guys know, we'll go through Ravella's group. She is the Sigilist with a treasure hunter, a couple thieves, a few thugs, a couple archers. Last game, she does have Cloak of Night and a hand weapon in her vault right now. She's got a Grimoire for Wall. Hasn't learned it yet. Robes of Arrow Turning. Last game, she did pick up a second, crazy enough, Cloak of Night. She's got 2 of them, so the Apprentice has the other one. And that's Ravella's Warband. So going over here, we have, on this side of the table, we've got our Summoner. And she is getting ready. She's level 5. Did a little better in the last game than the Sigilist. And if we come over here and see what her notes are, she picked up a new spell. She has a Fate Stone, which is great. She can reroll once a game. You can reroll a roll, like a casting roll or a stat roll. Very handy to have. She learned Elemental Hammer last game, so that'll be on the table tonight. And she's got a bunch of thugs and thieves because she's saving all the money she can to beef up her base to get those summoning and arcane circles and stuff she's going to need later. And yeah, just thugs and thieves, man. But Elemental Hammer should beef up these thugs pretty good. We'll see what happens. So round 1 is in the books. The Sigilist, boy, she failed her spell for telekinesis, lost a point of health. So did her Apprentice on her phase. Over here, and Apprentice lost 2 health, by the way. We're off to an outstanding start. But over here, we have our Summoner has done pretty well. They got the zombie before the game started. That went off. And they tried to cast Elemental Hammer. Missed it. Took 2 damage on herself. She also tried to cast, Apprentice tried Elemental Hammer. Did not work. She failed it. And she took 2 health. So these guys are off to a great start tonight. And these guys, he's in base to base. He'll pick up next round. She'll pick up next round. And I think they've got, he's almost there. He was just a little short. So he'll move up a little bit. And then over here, he'll try to get in there to get that next round over that rough ground. And that's where we are. Oh, that dice over there for our archer is he still has, he's got 5 more inches to climb to get up there. And that's round 1. So Ravella, the Sigilist, won initiative again. And she elected to cast, she did cast Push. And she pushed her treasure hunter up about 6 inches. He's almost on the treasure. These 2 guys did double move up there to try to intercept anybody coming up. Our archer was able to use all of his inches move points. He needed, what, it was 4 inches tall, 8 inches total. So 2 moves gives him 9. He just got up there with an inch left over to put him kind of like right. He'll stay where he is. He's fine. And that was her. All right, so we've got the Summoner going, and she... we gotta resolve this fight over here. He did double move to get up in base with him. He had enough movement left over to fight this guy. We'll do that in a second. But first I want to talk about the wizard who cast Imp. Now, she rolled a natural 20 on the roll, which was a critical. When you roll a critical for casting Imp, according to Advanced Spellcraft, when the Imp was placed over here, when he activates, she will control him the first time he activates. After that, then he becomes an uncontrolled creature. So he was legally, he was 15 inches away from her. It's the only line of sight she has for the scenario, and 3 inches away from the Apprentice. We should be good there. And we'll resolve this fight and go over to the Apprentice phase. So Apprentice phase over here, our Apprentice did cast an Elemental Bolt, and she had to empower it by 2 to get it to go off. And then she rolled, and she got it's +7 magic shooting attack. She got a 11. That's an 18 minus his armor at a 10. So he's dead. He only had like 4 or 5 health to start with. So he's done. He's off the board. That does count. I don't think that's a creature kill because he wasn't an uncontrolled creature yet. So we're not going to count that as a monster kill. And the archer finished climbing up there. Took a shot over there. Of course, he whiffed. That's how it always goes. So before she moved, Mary had cast Leap on the thug that was here. She had line of sight to him easily. He was easily within the range of the Eclipse, the Darkening, and then she leapt him 10 inches, which just got him right to here. And he's already activated prior in the fight. He got pushed off by this guy, so she was able to leap him. He's up there now. She moved, and this thug just rolled around this way. And that's it for the apprentice phase. Let's take you around the horn here. So soldier phase for the Sigilist. He picked up, no monsters came on, and our treasure hunter moved up like a quarter of an inch, picked this up, and he did not, no monsters. Everybody rolled well with under a 10. So nothing for our side, or for the Sigilist side. And the summoner now will go for their soldier. So soldier side for the summoner is going to be pick up, no monsters showed up, pick up, no monsters showed up, had some movement over here, and she cast, what did she do that already? Yeah. So they're already up there, and that's it. So that's going to resolve the round 2. So summoner's going now. Remember, line of sight's dropping now. We're down minus what? -2 now to 14 inches, I think it is. But even so, she had plenty of room to place that within 10, which is good. Did that. Zombie moved up. He tried to fight, but he got pushed back. He's down to 1 health. And that is a wall. She had to cut herself for 6 to pull that off, but that's going to effectively cut these two off, the wizard and the apprentice over here. So I'm not worried about the archer, because this guy will activate first, and soldier, he'll go after him, but he might be a problem. We'll see. So our Sigilist had to move back, because this is actually a little short. It's a little shorter than 3 inches. And in order to see and get over this and get up there, she moved back to get the line of sight she needed to get to this, put the wizard's eye right here. And now she has a cast. She had to cut herself for what? I think it was 3 to empower it. But probably worth it, because right now she's kind of out of position. That wizard eye will at least keep her in the game a little bit. It's a little risky, but apprentice had to move to be able to get within 10 inches of this and get it up there. And she just had enough to do it. I measured it out. Cast wall, cut herself, what, by 6 to get it. It's risky, but she stacked the wall on top of the wall. So that archer now does not have line of sight to down here. We'll see how this works out. Yes, you are seeing this correctly. The apprentice is now up on top of this thing, because she tried to cast transpose when she was down here, and she critically failed it. When you critically failed, you lose the health as normal, but you also have to roll for a random member of your warband, and you transpose with them instead. So it turned out to be the archer, putting her up there, putting the archer back down here. So, oh my goodness. That is definitely not good. Well, she did have 1 action left, so her second action was she just jumped down from here to here. That was a 4-inch jump, so I think the first 2 inches are free, and I think you take a damage for every 2 inches after that. So we'll put 2 more damage on her, or we'll put 1 more damage on her for the fall. So a soldier phase for the summoner. He had a bunch of thugs over here that bull rushed Gedry with the treasure hunter, but he fought them all off. He fought everyone off, and he pushed this guy back, killed one of them, drove him down to 2 health. Over here, little fight in action over here. He did win the fight. Killed this guy's got 2 health left. He's going to stay locked up with him. And over here, this is the crazy thing. So this dude, he literally walked over and just had enough movement to lock up with this guy over here, and they'll resolve their fight here in a minute. And this guy down here, he walked up and locked up with the thief over here, basically blocking him from moving. And that's on to the Sigilist soldier phase for the Sigilist. Combat over here. He won the fight, did 3 points of damage. He'll stay locked up with him. The other archer just moved over, double move, getting to there. He moved and picked up and tried to get it out of it. He just got it out of the ruins there on the rough ground. Coming over this way. Because we were able to hang in over here with all this, Gedry had just enough room to slide out. This guy was occupying him, he's occupying him, and he was over here. He was more than 1 inch away from that dude. He slid to here, and then of course he's got to deal with Miri could probably force combat with him next round. She really wants to stop him, or maybe the zombie can. We'll see. And that's how it ends for this round. Round 3 is now over. So initiative for round 4 does go to our Sigilist, and she did try to cast push on this guy here. Failed it, and but no damage taken on the fail. And I forgot to mention this top wall did disappear at the end of last round. So that's now gone, only dealing with this one that's 3 inches high. So Daenerys the Summoner goes, and she was up here initially, and she cast Will Roll. I'm sorry, she cast Fool's Gold on the Treasure Hunter. She had to cut herself for, I think it was 4 to get it to go off, taking her health all the way down to, I think, 4 health. So she's now considered wounded. Gedry failed his Will Roll, so he dropped it, and she moved it 4 inches over to here, and basically with the zombies, you can pick it up when he activates. Now, when she did that, she went down, but when she started the turn, her activation, she was at full health. We gave her the second action, allowing her to move back to here. So that's how she ended. So Apprentice went. I was able to cast Push and push this guy 5 inches back over. She was originally here when she did it, but then she moved. So yeah, finally went off for her. So Apprentice phase over here. Miri was up here originally with the zombie. The zombie's right next to her, so he had one action. He was wounded. He picked up the treasure that was slid right at his feet. Then she cast Leap on him, moving him to there, and then she slid back to try to give some distance between that treasure hunter still lurking out there. So we'll do all the soldier phase together. Gedry had gone over here, and he had run her down, got into base-to-base contact with the apprentice. But this thug came over, fought Gedry with the support from her, was just enough to push Gedry off of her. That's how that was going over there. Over here, we got just 2 guys standing over here. This guy is definitely wounded. Both of them are wounded. And that's where they are. Over here, this archer won the fight against the thug that was with him. It was locked up. He pushed him off, landed down there, took some damage, and then this archer over here finished him off. And, of course, our thief is almost off. And our thief over here was able to move over here. This guy came out of the woods and got to there. And that's about where the soldier phase ends up. So wizard phase, she wins again, Sigilist, and there's no line of sight. It is Eclipse time, total darkness. No line of sight for ranged or spells or anything. So all she could do is cast Heal on herself, which she did to heal up a little bit. All right, Daenerys is going to do it. She tried to summon a demon with a +6 on the casting roll because it's now the Eclipse. It went off. She had to cut herself for 2, believe it or not, to get this to go, even with the +6. But an imp was appeared. She was over here. And the reason she was able to do this was a touch spell, requiring no line of sight. And then once she cast him, her second action was to move back. Wait, what's her health? Let me double check that. What's her health? Oh, she can't move. I apologize. Okay, so she can't move. She doesn't have 2 actions available. Her only action was to cast that spell, so she stays right here with him, and that's it. All right, so Apprentice does the job. She cast Heal on herself, and that's where she is with a +6 to the casting roll for the Eclipse. Might as well. It's all she can do. These guys who were activating around her, she had him go. He moved over there. He did a move and moved up to block this guy off, and that's it. We have our second imp on the table. So the apprentice said, hey, I'll try to cast let's get a demon out for me too. Nothing on the card about that. There's no limitations on the card, like raised zombies. So you only have 1 raised zombie on the table at a time. Nothing about that over here. So she cast it, had to cut herself for 1 to get it, even with the +6 modifier for the Eclipse. But there he is. You got two of these guys. How they work basically is they are considered to be under a controlled demon spell. So if she's controlling this one, she's controlling that one. Board state after the soldier phase. Here, everybody, there's no creatures or anything, so we will roll for that wall in a second. But that's how our things stand right now. And just moving around the board here, giving you some just a bird's eye view of things. And the imps were able to move up and get locked up with our treasure hunter over there. And they're looking pretty strong right now. So we're back. We are now in turn 6, Summoner 1 initiative. The Eclipse is now over, so line of sight has returned up to 13 inches. She only has 2 health left, so this is really dangerous territory for her. She only has 1 action. Decided to cast Leap, which is a pretty safe spell for her. At most, if she fails it by like a 2 or something, if she fails it, she might take 1 point damage. So she casts Leap on the zombie to get him over to there, and that was her. So Sigilist gets a 20 on the D20, critical for push. And what happens is, in addition to the inches you push the guy, he gets damage. And so she got the 20. His armor, he was here. She pushed him 10 inches into here. And because his armor is only 10, he would take damage for the difference. Basically, he's taking damage for what he was pushed. So he's just dead. That's why he's laying down there. So her push was so forceful, I guess she just killed him. So the apprentice tried to cast heal on the wizard, and unfortunately failed it and took a point of damage. So back to the soldier phase, Sigilist Thief actually get a treasure token off this round. Both archers missed, because they suck. I forgot to, I think you didn't cast a spell this round, but we just left it. She just moved up to here. And over here, Gedry, the treasure hunter, he did manage to kill off an imp. I don't think the other imp attacked yet, though. We have to resolve that. I forgot about that. But everything else just been movement and positioning. And let me take care of this imp. I forgot he had to fight him. Yeah, so the imp actually won that fight, and he put 5 points of damage on Gedry, the treasure hunter, and chose to stay locked up with him. So Daenerys really can't risk casting a spell. She only has like 1 health left. She just did a 6-inch move back to where the zombie was. So the wizard moved, and now remember, the eclipse is fading away now. So in this round, we have a 14-inch line of sight, and she has to have line of sight to 2 figures that possibly transpose them. So she has line of sight to you. You're within the 14 inches, and the apprentice, the enemy apprentice, was just in 14 inches. We're going to try to transpose this one and her treasure hunter. Unfortunately, she rolled a 1. And there it is. So last round, she rolled a 20. Now she rolled a 1. That is a failure. Now what will happen is she will now transpose with a random figure in her own warband for the critical failure. So she wound up transposing herself up here and swapping out with the archer that was up there. And now that archer's over there. So I guess this could have been worse. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. So Summoner Apprentice Miri went ahead and cast Leap on one of the thugs that were over here. Jumped him over into combat, locking him up with this archer over here. So Sigilist Apprentice went next, moved up and cast Push. And there he is all the way back there. So she only rolled a 10 on the casting roll, which was enough to cast it, but his armor's 10, so that means he wouldn't move. She had to empower it to get that extra up to 18 to get that extra 8 inches of that 8 inches of movement to push him down there. And so she's down to 4 health. So she'll only get 1 action here on out. So soldier phase is complete. That's what the kind of things look and they stand right now. Nothing too significant. There was some fighting over here, and the zombie is almost off the board with that 1 health left. He can only move once, and it's only a 2-inch move with that treasure, so he's inching his way off the board. And that's it for that round. Now we're going on to one more round of this thing, and then we'll see where things stand. Oh, one last thing. The wall finally did crumble at the end of went away at the end of the turn. So we're about to start turn 8, and before we do, I thought that it was fitting. Now this is not in the scenario rules. I simply added it in just for fun. If they've been out here fighting this long in this section of town, they're in the Lich Lord's territory. Eventually, that kind of commotion is going to cause someone to come investigate. So we have some death cultists here showing up on this side of the board, coming over to see what's going on and cause some problems. Yeah, so Sigilist Ravella won the initiative, and she decided to climb down. So she's here now. And with these death cultists pouring in over here, it's just time to probably get out of Dodge. So Daenerys with 1 health left, had 1 movement. She had 1 action, took a move right here to get the heavy cover. And the apprentice now for the Sigilist went going for broke. Now the line of sight now is increasing each round. So we have 15-inch line of sight. So she has line of sight to both the zombie treasure carrier and the treasure hunter. And these two are within 12 inches of each other. So she tried to cast... was it transpose? Yeah, it was switch. She missed it, took a point of damage, and that was probably the last gasp of it. If she had pulled that off, the Sigilist might have had a chance to get that central treasure token off the board, but it's just gonzo now. So she's going to have to move, I suppose, because you got that thug bearing down. You don't know what's going to happen over here with that imp. It's time probably to boogie on out of here. So she'll step back to there for the second action. And that'll close out the apprentice for the Sigilist. So this will dictate whether the game finishes now or doesn't. Miri the apprentice is going to cast heal on the zombie. Hopefully get his health back above 4, so he'll get 2 move actions when he activates, and he'll be able to get off the table. So we'll see if she gets it. So she needs, for heal for her, it's going to be a 14. So let's go ahead and roll it and see. Here's for the game right here. Nope, she missed it. She's going to take, I believe it's a point of damage for that. You know what? It was dumb, but I moved her over here after she failed the spell to get out of line of sight. But really, he's got enough move to get off the board this round. Like, he moves, he'll get 1 action. He only moves 4 inches. He's carrying treasure, he'll move 2 inches. That's plenty to get him off off the board. So, it was a nice idea, I guess, in case he got shot at. But either way, he's getting off this round anyways, assuming nothing else happens over here to prevent. So the Sigilist Warband, the soldier phase, took a last-ditch effort. This guy, he fired on the zombie over there and missed him. And now that's it. So there's nothing else the Sigilist can do. There's just no other options. And now it's the time for soldier phase for these guys. He'll walk it off, and now the game is so end of game results for our summoner. There it is. So experience points calculated 275. She's going to learn the heal spell because she had a Grimoire for heal. Even though she already knew heal, she will now be able to flourish according to the advanced spellcraft rules. She will improve heal casting number down to 11, saving 75 XP for the future. She had rolled up pretty well. She got a bunch more gold, 80 more gold. She got a ring of teleportation, a bow +1, light armor of +1. Then the black market phase came along, and this was some great choices here. We're not going to buy the orb, though, so disregard that. So she had a Grimoire for Bone Dart, Orb of Power for 6, Transpose, Elemental Bolt. So the Orb of Power is great. It allows you to draw from the orb to empower spells instead of your health. The problem, though, is the orb does not recharge. It is once and done. And I think for $500 for a once and done thing is too much at this stage in the game. She's still fairly a young wizard, so better to hold off. We're going to cross this off. Just stick with the Ring of Teleportation. We got lucky with that. Save the money because we're hoping that Control Demon spell comes up eventually in the black market. We just buy it. So on to our Sigilist. Experience points was 250. A lot of failed spells in there. Out of game spells, only 1 success was a right scroll for Elemental Bolt, which is kind of what she's trying to power up to eventually. She's going to spend 100 to improve right scroll again, and 100 to improve her health stat, leaving 50 XP left, add whatever she has before. The treasure token, she chose to roll on the Lich Lord table for one of her treasures. So the first one was from the main rule book, 80 gold Grimoire, which was True Sight. And then down here, she got the Quiver of the Soul Seeker from the Thaw, the Lich Lord treasure table. It makes the arrow attacks now, or crossbow, whoever has it, their magic attacks, and they can work on ethereal creatures. Could be useful for the Thaw, the Lich Lord campaign. And not enough gold to even bother rolling for black markets, so nothing there. That is our Sigilist.